Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So the Washington Commanders finally signed a defensive end in Dietrich Wise, who played with the Patriots for 8 seasons. So was with Jones, who they just signed cornerback from the Patriots, who was there for 9 seasons. So they overlapped a ton. And yeah, they finally got a defensive end. We'll talk about it in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and notification bell as well. And yeah, working hard from here from Europe, even though it's vacation. Got to get that work, got to get that work in, got to get those videos out, especially during free agency. And the Commanders have been busy today, very busy. And Dietrich Wise, defensive end, I'm 90% sure that's from what I was reading. He's a defensive end guy, maybe can play inside at times, versatile piece. And I feel like a lot of unless it's like a player from the Eagles or Cowboys or Giants or a team that you're somewhat rivals with, I feel like a good way without watching film to find out how good the player is just to, see what their fan base, their, ex fan base thinks about them. And Dietrich Wise, a lot of the Patriots fans, they had love for him. I think, last year he had like 5.5 sacks. The year before, like 4.5. So he's not a stud, but I think he's a very good rotational player. So he can be your third edge rusher. The Commanders still need a dog. They need a good player. But Dietrich Wise is a good rotational piece that has the potential to start. He's a good run defender from what Patriots fans were saying and can get you 4 to 6 sacks a year. I think he has 7.5 3 seasons ago. So that's kind of where we're at with Dietrich Wise. Right now, Dorrance Armstrong's a starter. And right now, Dietrich Wise would be a starter for the Commanders. But I don't think he should be a starter for them. There's a difference between being a starter and a third rotational guy. Third rotational guy, I think that's fine for Dietrich Wise, a guy that can get you, play 40% of the snaps, 50% maybe. And then the starters play, 60, whatever. But with Dietrich Wise, again, I think they need an elite edge rusher, maybe a guy like Azeez Ojulari, maybe not elite, but he has the potential to, have a Dante Fowler type of season, but he's also young. He has development. Dietrich Wise, the Commanders definitely got better today with Jonathan Jones, Dietrich Wise, Eddie Goldman, but all those guys are kind of olderish, so it's good to have some veterans for sure, but you also want to get younger. So if they are, were to make another free agency signing, I would like, and I keep mentioning it, Azeez Ojulari, who, would be a good pass rusher to add to the team that's also young and has some potential. Second round pick out of Georgia and has had double-digit sacks, I believe, in his rookie year or like close to that. So for me, that's where I think the Commanders should go. And then you have Dietrich Wise as your rotational guy, because for me, Dorrance Armstrong and Dietrich Wise and then, Baptiste, that's just not doing it for me. Even if you draft a rookie in the first round, that's the late first round. And I don't know if they're going to have a first round pick this year. They might trade back. So for me, I probably would sign someone like Azeez Ojulari. Maybe he's asking for too much, and that's why the Commanders aren't going for him. But that's kind of where I'm at with Dietrich Wise and the Commanders situation here. But I think it definitely makes their defense better. Sorry, I just ate. So, but yeah, I think it makes the Commanders defense better for sure, fills the hole, and at least gives them a little bit of a higher floor there at defensive end because, right now you just had Armstrong and then Baptiste who, played well as a rookie, especially for a 7th-round pick, but I don't know, you still got to see what he's got to do. And I believe, what's his name? Dietrich Wise is from the DMV area, went to DeMatha. I just saw a tweet about that, and I remember some people talking about that. So don't quote me on that, but I'm 99% sure he is a DMV guy. So shout out to him, and good for the Commanders getting a DMV guy. And yeah, I think it's a good signing. 1 year. I didn't even say the contract. 1 year, $5 million deal. The Jonathan Jones is 1 year, 5.5 up to 6.5, 1 million with incentives. So, somewhat cheap deals. They're bringing a lot of 1 year guys, and hey, let's see what they do. They brought in Bobby Wagner last year, Dante Fowler, who is a little bit older. Let's see what Jonathan Jones does, who's a, or not edge, nickel. I mean, I guess edge corner. nickel and then edge corner. He can play on the boundaries or play on the inside. Probably will play slot for them. And you got Mike Sanders and Lattimore on the outside. So the cornerback room's looking a lot better. Will Harris and Quan Martin at safety. You could probably draft the guy for sure. And you could also draft the corner. Edge rusher, the final edge rusher spot. I just think they need to add another guy. And, defensive tackle is getting crowded, man, with Kinlaw, who they just paid a lot of money. So at the minimum, he's your third, defensive tackle. You have Johnny Newton, who you drafted in the second round. You clearly like him, and even if you didn't think he had a good rookie year, you invested a lot in him, early second round pick. So you're going to, want to see what he can do. And I'm not saying that I didn't think he had a good year, because I think he had a solid year, especially coming off of 2 surgeries in the offseason, right after his college season and then, right after he got drafted. So Johnny Newton, I'm excited to see him. And then you got Daron Payne. So I don't know where it all works out, if maybe they move on from Daron Payne. But sorry, my battery just went out, but it went to 10%, so I might have paused it. But yeah, maybe they want to move on from Daron Payne, and this is, getting all these defensive linemen does that. I don't know. They can save like $20 million trading him. I'm not saying they should do it, but I would not have minded trading him, keeping John Allen, and you get draft comp from trading Daron Payne. But Daron Payne isn't necessarily a Ron Rivera guy, but he's a guy from the Ron Rivera era who was here the whole time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Peters wants to move on from him, and bringing in Javon Kinlaw, bringing in, you Goldman, and then, Eddie Goldman, and then also, having Johnny Newton. Sorry, I don't know what else was having a brain fart. But yeah, Johnny Newton as well. Maybe they want to move on from Daron Payne and they can get some assets for him. Maybe they take on a little bit of that contract for this year and, go from there. But that is kind of it for today's video. I like the signing, relatively cheap, a guy that gives you a high floor at that edge rusher position, at least higher floor than they had. He's a similar player to Dorrance Armstrong in terms of like the level of player there. I would say Armstrong a little bit better and also, younger, so has a chance of growth. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.